the thing. All right? Did you see the movie Big Eyes? Okay. There's a movie called Big Eyes. A lot of people haven't seen it. I guess maybe it's not wide all over the nation. But I thought this movie was so interesting. This movie was set in the 1950s. Okay? It's a different time than it was now with regard to women and men and the roles in which they play within their marriages. And I thought that this was such an interesting look back on how women thought, what their mindset was in America, in San Francisco. And I'm talking about housewives, middle income. What was their mindset in the 1950s? These women were so subordinate to their husbands that it didn't matter what their husbands asked them to do, they basically would do it. You see this housewife who's scurrying about the house, pulling things out of the drawer into a suitcase, pulling paintings off the wall. She's getting ready to leave her husband. Okay, it becomes evident. She gets into this vintage car. You know, this thing is set in the 50s, so they have all these beautiful cars from the 50s. You guys are going to have a ball looking at that, those of you who enjoy vintage-looking cars. And I'm noticing that she's almost fearful, but she's just running away. She's got her daughter in the car, and they're going. They're out of there. She lands in San Francisco at the time of the 50s where everybody's painting outside. And I mean, they still do that now. They even do that in New York. But at this time, we're in the very creative age, you know, the Renaissance age, modern Renaissance age. And she meets this guy that she eventually falls in, well, I don't know if she falls in love with him, but she marries him. Do you fall in love and get married? Are they always, those two things go together? Not always. But anyway, so she marries this guy without really knowing him that well. And he decides that whatever she paints should have his name on it. And he should take credit for it because remember, whatever money he gets belongs to all of them. At least that's what he's telling her. And this is a true story. The film Big Eyes is based on the story of Margaret Keane. Okay, Margaret Keane had to take her husband to court to win recognition for her own work and also to get whatever monies and royalties were owed to her because they were paying it all to her husband. And he was taking credit for this for many years. Amy Adams plays the lead character, Margaret, and the husband is played by Christoph Waltz. Now, everybody knows Christoph Waltz from, well, not just Django, but a few years ago, he was in Inglourious Basterds. If you've ever seen the 2009 Quentin Tarantino film, Inglourious Basterds, check out the first 10 minutes of that movie. You will see Christoph Waltz. And this little guy, he's a very small man physically, you know, but he was scared of living daylights out of you. He plays the most chilling character probably in modern day history. This Nazi officer who is hunting his prey. I mean, it's really a scary thing. I will never forget. It made me very nervous. Amy Adams did a wonderful job playing Margaret Keane. I wonder if she's going to get an Academy Award this year, right? I thought she was going to get one last year, but I understand why she didn't get it. We all know the Golden Globes are usually a precursor to the Academy Awards. So let's see if she gets nominated for that. She's very talented, right? Do you love Amy Adams? I think she deserves an Academy Award. I can see one on her mantle, maybe two. You know, she's still a young woman. So let's see what happens next week. Christoph Waltz is having so much fun playing this chauvinistic pig husband. And when you see it, you're going to agree with me. He's just a despicable person. He really is. And so he might be nominated as well. He was very good. All right. So this movie is interesting because it reflects an historical look back at how women have changed. Because when you see how subordinate she was and when you see how submissive she was toward her husband, you're going to say, she's an alien. We wouldn't do that today. But you never know. All right. So, yeah. If you get a chance, you want to see something nice and relaxing, very interesting, go see Big Eyes. It's a Tim Burton movie. Remember Tim Burton from Beetlejuice and My favorite Tim Burton movie, I know people like him Batman and all these other things. My favorite Tim Burton movie was Edward Scissorhands. All right, 5 being the best, 1 being the worst. Big Eyes easily comes in at 3.5. You'll enjoy it. It was very well done. A great film